Hi, everybody. I just want to read this information to all of you because it's big news. I want to first also let you know that when I speak about brain damage, I'm not speaking just about brain damage of someone that overdosed in fentanyl or any drug and because lack of breathing got brain damage. No, I'm speaking about many types of brain damage. Like many young adults have car accidents because they're texting or driving under the influence of alcohol or they're just driving and there's heavy rain or other irresponsible drivers. And many young adults have terrible car accidents where they get injured and concussions, terrible concussions in the brain, and terrible consequences for life if they don't get the treatments necessary right away. Also, there's strokes and there are many other issues. Football players have issues also with concussions and um, jiu-jitsu, boxing, sports, uh, many ways that we can get hurt in our brain, and it doesn't matter sometimes what age we are, and that's the reason why I'm speaking about brain damage and a lot of things that are very important for us. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but lately, more than ever, since that we are seeing in YouTube this massive, seem to me like a lot of what they call honor walks. And I don't want to go into this because each case is very unique and I don't have a clue about what conditions are of these um, persons that sadly, their families have to make the terrible decisions of disconnection. And then the hospital or they already in advance in the driver license, they have put themselves as an organ donors. However, I just want to say to you that beside all the cases that are legit, there is a big business in organ donations for hospitals. And also, there's a big agenda in disconnection, in early disconnection. So now, speaking about brain damage, I want to read to you this very important article that came out. I don't know if it came out this last Monday, but I received it in my email was this Monday the 12th. I have it in my email inbox, and it's from the very prestigious Brain Injury Association of America. And I'm gonna read what it says. A study suggests waiting longer before withdrawing life support for severe traumatic brain injury patients. Okay? So this is called in category the challenge. Lauren Moore, Marketing and Communication Manager from BIAA. This is what she says, and it's not that long article. When a person is hospitalized for sustaining a severe traumatic brain injury, is TBI, their family and loved ones may be faced with the difficult decision to withdraw life support. Families of patients with severe TBI, which by current definition includes periods of unconsciousness, are often asked to make decisions about withdrawal of life-sustaining treatment within days of injuries. That happened to us with Jeffrey. But a recent study in the Journal of Neurotrauma found that both doctors and patients' families are likely to make better decisions if they wait even a few days longer than they normally would. Few days more? A lot more, believe me. They're being kind here. Continue. While some doctors will say the patient with severe TBI do not have a strong prognosis, what exactly they told us. The Journal of Neurotrauma study, which used a national database including 1,392 traumatic brain injury patients, points out that there is high prognostic uncertainty but growing evidence that recovery of independence is possible. This study, I want to let you know that it's very hard for these studies to have a lot of data because there's a problem collecting data of this kind. Now, continue. The study investigated the potential for not only survival, but recovery of independence after acute TBI in patients who died after withdrawals of life-sustaining treatment that is called WLST, using transforming research and clinical knowledge in TBI, which is called track TBI data. The study compared patients with withdrawal life support treatment to those with a similar probabilities of withdrawal life support treatment, but whose life-sustaining treatment was not withdrawn. Although 55% of the patients whose life-sustaining treatment was continued died in the hospital, typically within about 6 days, 42% who continue life support recovered to the point of having some degree of independence within the following 12 months. Some even resumed their lives prior to their injuries. There's a lot to say about my own case with Jeffrey, about this and many other cases that I personally witnessed when Jeffrey and I and our family with George were in these many places, and we meet these people that they were being pushed and harassed to withdraw life support, and they refused, and they were told that their family members will never have consciousness, will never have awareness, will never come back, will never move a limb, will never have memory, will never do nothing at all but to be in a vegetative state. And they were starting to walk, eating, almost others talking, learning to talk, And like Jeffrey case was extraordinary with the severe brain damage he had. Also, why to withdraw life support when if the reality is that if you don't withdraw life support within the next 2 weeks, they will die on their own. So let me continue the last few paragraphs. Our findings support a more cautious approach to making early decisions on withdrawal of life support. Corresponding author Yelena Bodien of the Department of Neurology Center for Neurotechnology and Neurorecovery of Massachusetts General Hospital and of the, Spalding Harvard Traumatic Brain Injury Model System told the Harvard Gazette, traumatic brain injury is a chronic condition that requires long-term follow-ups to understand patients' outcomes. Delaying decisions regarding life support may be warranted to better identify patients whose condition may improve. I want that you know that I called her and I left a message. So I hope that she returned my phone call. This study says, this is almost the ending, suggest a substantial proportion of patients with TBI and withdrawal life support treatment may have survived and achieved at least partial independence had life-sustaining treatment not been withdrawn. However, the fact remains that death or severe disability is a common outcome when the probability of withdrawal life support treatment is high. Although this study concludes that further research is needed, that's why I call. Its findings do support a more cautious clinical approach to WLST and more complete reporting on WLST in TBI studies. So, more support in data for more complete reporting on withdrawal life support treatment in traumatic brain injury studies. So in these paragraphs, it says that, however, the fact remains that death or severe disability is a common outcome when the probability of withdrawal life support treatment is high. So in this case, that would be like kind of Jeffrey case. However, again, Jeffrey case, according to physiatrists and neurologists, was one of the worst brain damage that they have seen in their career. And if we would not have had 15 denials in 11 months of insurance, and we would not have had all these mistakes that we encounter in some type of hospitals, and some lack of ethics in the medical system, and many other severe issues, God knows how far Jeffrey would have gotten if he would have received all the quality of treatments and benefits he deserved to have received. So, last paragraph, I read, Brent Massell, MD, National Medical Director of the Brain Injury Association of America, said this has always been his approach when talking to family members of patients with severe TBI. The way I explain this is in terms of a bell-shaped curve. He explained, while doctors can't say with any certainty which side of the curve a particular patient will fall on, they can explain what will happen based on where the patient does fall. I think presenting things in that way to the patient's family and saying, you know, there are studies that shows that if we wait a little longer, they may be, relatively speaking, okay. But there is no way to know. I think what families are going to take from this is perhaps we shouldn't jump the gun to withdraw life support not so quickly. This is the end of the study of the article, and I will say to this last paragraph that even though this incredible, outstanding, brilliant Dr. Marcel is saying that, you know, that they can never know, because that's the truth. They're no God. They can never know. But obviously he said that they can kind of maybe think where the particular patient will fall on, depending, you know, based on where the patient is at. Well, Jeffrey, even in that type of case, broke the rule, because honestly, God, if you guys have seen Jeffrey MRI, you literally would have had no hope. But there's something else outside all this physical issues and discoveries and evidence and data, etc., etc., etc. And that's something else. For those like me who believe that there's a creator of mankind, there is God. There are miracles. And nothing is impossible for him. I leave you with that.